The following is a presentation of RMG Sports, award-winning championship television.
Race fans, buckle up for Chase to the Checkered. In case anyone was wondering, yep, it was a full moon last Saturday night. And even though the skies looked scary earlier, we got the whole night of racing in. You know when parts start landing out here, the race has been a bit rough. So hold on, this one's gonna be bumpy. Chase to the Checkered starts now.
I'm Jake Lang from Somerset, Pennsylvania. Race fans, start your engines.
Welcome back to Chase to the Checkered. The skies were threatening, but somehow we got all of the racing in at Jennerstown Speedway last Saturday. The full moon would come into play several times throughout the night. You'll see what we mean throughout this week's show. C2C kicks off with the highlights from the Cover Insurance Agency PA Legacy feature. As they came into turn 3 for the first lap, number 70, PJ Ehrlich, touched number 4, Brett Boyer, sending him spinning. Number 17, Dave Holder, almost gets caught up in the mess. By lap 4, points leader Joey Denowitz had worked his way to the inside of Ehrlich. On lap 6, the 29 spun coming out of turn 2. But the points leader keeps it under control and avoids being moved too far back in the pack. Number 70, PJ Ehrlich, and number 13, Chris Brink, would take off with the lead after the restart. The two drivers would drive door to door for 10 consecutive laps. By the time they made it to lap 17, Joey Denowitz was right back in the thick of things, next to the number 04 car of Rick Boyer. Ehrlich would move to the front. On lap 19, number 13, Chris Brink, got loose out of turn 2. The caution came out and bunched the pack back up. On the restart, number 04, Rick Boyer, was challenging Ehrlich for the lead, with Denowitz hot on his tail. But on the final lap, Boyer would try too hard and get turned around in turn 4. On the restart, numerous cars got tangled up in turn 2, including number 8, Michael Vasquez, and number 13, Chris Brink. Brink's night was made complete when his car hopped out of gear and hit the tow truck. Did we mention that it was a full moon? On the next restart, number 70 again held the lead, but turn 2 would gather number 04, Rick Boyer, number 44, Eric Kulikowski, and number 0, Kep Kauser. PJ Ehrlich won the Cover Insurance Agency PA Legacy Division feature under caution.
Oh yeah, the driver competition is excellent in our series. Every weekend you just have different drivers that you're competing against and just tough to win. Oh, I was excited. I was shaking my fist inside the car. I was so excited.
Ehrlich, in his first win of 2002, was followed by Joey Denowitz, David Holder, Bill Miller, and Kyle Martell in the top 5 feature finishers. Denowitz continues to dominate in the points. He's almost 100 points ahead of the second place, Brett Boyer. Chris Brink, Kyle Martell, and Dave Campbell round out the top 5. Brad Grace, PJ Ehrlich, Bill Miller, Eric Kulikowski, and Kep Kauser make up the top 10 in points in the Cover Insurance Agency PA Legacies. Next up, 15 laps of the 96.5 Mountain Chargers. Justin Lasky shot out with the lead on the start. But on lap 5, number 94, Travis Smith, got by the 97 for the lead. By lap 8, number 27, Greg Praisner, got by Lasky, and number 55, Curtis Stewart Jr. followed by as well. Then, 2 laps later, Stewart got by Praisner for second. But number 97, Justin Lasky, was sideways in turn 2, and everyone would line back up. Number 94, Travis Smith, who had built an incredible lead, would now have the division points leader right on his tail. 1 lap to go, and the white flag flew as Curtis Stewart Jr. came alongside of Travis Smith. The two would ride door to door. Curtis Stewart Jr. would use the high side and beat the 94 by half a car and win the feature.
Yeah, it's closer to the wall. If you get loose, you don't have as far to go. Well, it was just a matter of time. I mean, you take a chance like that in the beginning, that's risky.
Stewart and Smith were followed by Greg Praisner, Chuck Slate, and Phil Grubbs in the top 5 finishers in the feature. Curtis Stewart Jr. continues to totally dominate the division point standings. His lead is now 70 points over the second place Travis Smith. Phil Grubbs, Chuck Slate, and Johnstown's Justin Lasky round out the top 5. Dwayne Knoll, Michael Gillett, Bobby Fisher, Greg Praisner, and Michael Stevens make up the top 10 in points in the 96.5 Mountain Charger division. Now, let's check out the action from the Sen West Street Stock feature. As the pack came around to complete the first lap, number 33, Jeff Petrini, made contact with number 08, Robert Young, cutting a tire. He almost took out half the pack on the front stretch. After the restart, number 35, Bill Ashton, took off with the lead, with number 73, Roger Onstead, in second. 4 laps in, number 0, Din Colarusso, got under and by number 14, Adam Kostelnik, for the 3rd place spot. Number 9, George Nicola Jr. followed by for 4th. The number 0, number 9 combo got past number 73, Roger Onstead, 2 laps later, and sent him back to 4th. All the while, number 35, Bill Ashton, was out in front, but Din Colarusso was chipping away at the lead. On lap 19, Colarusso had worked his way up to be right on Ashton's bumper, but lap 20 saw the yellow flag, with number 75, June Wyant, and number 74, Jason Holder, sideways in turns 1 and 2. With 3 laps remaining, Ashton got a touch loose, and Colarusso got past the number 35 for the lead. Din Colarusso went on to win the Sen West Street Stocks feature.
Bill had it. I got to him. I couldn't do anything with him, and the caution come out, and his tires must have cooled down. He got really loose there on the restart, which gave me the opportunity to get under him.
With his 2nd win in a row, Colarusso was followed by Bill Ashton, George Nicola Jr., Roger Onstead, and Adam Kostelnik in the top 5. The win helped Colarusso pull to within 14 points of the points leader, Pittsburgh's George Nicola Jr. They are followed by Adam Kostelnik, Roger Onstead, and Rockwood's Johnny Jones. David Tavermina, Bill Ashton, Jason Holder, June Wyant, and number 08, Robert Young, round out the top 10 in points in the Sen West Street Stocks. Coming up on Chase to the Checkered, we've got the highlights of the twin 25-lap features of the Tommy Gale Hallmark Trailers Pro Trucks, as well as the highlights of the twin 50-lap features in the Wheeler Brothers AC Delco late models. You don't want to miss a second, race fans, so stay where you are. Chase to the Checkered will be right back. Welcome back to Chase to the Checkered. In the men's enduro feature, Johnstown's number 30, Patrick Parlock, made it to victory lane.
It's like the bumper that's laying up here. All of a sudden you decide you're going low and there's something laying there. There's a dead car or water or something. Yeah, you got to pick and choose when you just about get there.
We keep this week's C2C rolling with the highlights from the twin 25-lap features in the Tommy Gale Hallmark Trailers Pro Trucks. In Race 1, the first several laps saw number 16, Eugene Ciferno, and number 12, Aaron Will, riding door-to-door for the lead. But Ciferno took the lead, bringing number 97, Jason Lasky, alongside of Will to challenge for second. In lap 5, the battle for third was won by number 96, Todd Price. Number 0, Dave Brunel, was sandwiched in, but weathered the storm. 3 laps later, Ciferno and Lasky made contact in turn 2. Number 97 and number 96, Todd Price, sneaked by. Lasky and Price were door-to-door as they came across the line for the halfway point. Lasky would hold a fender's lead, and he and Price would amaze the crowd with nearly a dozen consecutive laps of door-to-door racing for first. On lap 21, the two trade paint as they crossed the line. Lasky takes the lead, but a lap later, Price would use the inside line and a draft from number 8, Marion Reno Jr., to again move alongside of Lasky. With 1 lap to go, the two came across the line a nose apart, but when they went down the backstretch, the three made contact. Reno spun. The damage to the 97 truck was just too much. Lasky waved to a cheering crowd after driving a great race. Todd Price would hold the lead on the restart and go on to win the first of 2 25-lap features in the Tommy Gale Hallmark Trailers Pro Trucks.
That was a battle. Thought I was giving Jason plenty of room. I was a little loose getting off. He was a little loose. We touched there. Sorry to see him get wrecked.
Todd Price was followed by Josh Kokenauer, Aaron Will, Eugene Ciferno, and Dave Brunel in the top 5 finishers of Race 1. In Race 2, the inverted field saw number 00, Jason Hounsel, in the lead for lap 1. The next lap, it was number 4, Dustin Blank, taking the lead. The lap after that, number 8, Marion Reno Jr. rifled out to the lead. 3 laps, 3 different leaders. As we came to the halfway point, number 86, Terry Price, was resting on the wall in turn 2. On the restart, last week's winner, number 0, Dave Brunel, shot out with the lead, ahead of number 8, Marion Reno Jr., and the rest of the pack. 3 laps later, number 96, Todd Price, got under Reno for the second place position. Number 20, Josh Kokenauer, would follow him by for the third place position soon afterwards. On lap 21, Brunel was still in the lead, but a spin by number 4, Dustin Blank, in turn 4 would erase the number 0's lead. Brunel took off with the lead on the restart. Number 96, Todd Price, had his hands full with number 20, Josh Kokenauer, for the second place spot. They all lined up, and number 0, Dave Brunel, won the second Tommy Gale Hallmark Trailers Pro Truck feature.
I'll tell you what, to be here tonight, I never thought we'd make it. I'm telling you, we were so off in that first race. And the guys, they went and redid the chassis and set the stagger and everything, and we were good, but I didn't know whether we'd get Reno there, and got a good jump on that restart, so that helped.
In race 2, Brunel was followed by Todd Price, Josh Kokenauer, Aaron Will, and Dave Marrow in the top 5 finishers in the feature. His win in Race 1 and a second-place finish in Race 2 allows Alum Bank PA's Todd Price to retake the point standing lead from Marion Reno Jr. The number 8 is just 8 points behind in second. Somerset's Josh Kokenauer is only 16 points behind the leader in third, while Dave Brunel's 3 victories have him to within 26 points of Price. Wall PA's Dave Marrow rounds out the top 5. Jason Lasky, Aaron Will, Dave Manns, Eugene Saferno, and Todd's brother Terry Price round out the top 10 in the Tommy Gale Hallmark Trailers Pro Trucks division. Coming up on Chase to the Checkered, we've got the highlights of both of the twin 50-lap features in the Wheeler Brothers AC Delco late models. Plus, we'll take a look at what is coming up at Jennerstown Speedway. It's all coming up on Chase to the Checkered. We'll be right back. Race fans, Chase to the Checkered returns with the highlights from the twin 50-lap features of the Wheeler Brothers AC Delco late models. Race 1 was off to a horrible start with a serious incident in turns 3 and 4. As we see on the replay, number 38, Brad Creighton, and number 33W, Mel Wilt, made contact. Wilt shot into number 92, Jamie Bolkovac, causing her to go into and almost over the wall. Jennerstown safety specialists quickly doused the flames as Jamie crawled out of the car. EMTs immobilized the Greensburg driver and took her to the hospital, where she was released shortly thereafter. Luckily, Jamie was in much better shape than her car. The caution would fly again on the restart as number 45, Rick Boyer, and number 23, Dusty Rhodes, tangled out of turn 2. The third time was the charm as number 14, Kerry Tadero, took off with the lead, followed by a charging number 11, Bobby Henry. On lap 3, Henry got by Tadero for the lead. A lap later, Brad Creighton got past Tadero for second and brought number 75, Barry Audi, with him. On lap 17, Creighton shot by number 11, Bobby Henry, for the lead. With 4 laps to go, the leader Creighton gets into some oil on the track and almost loses the lead to a pouncing number 94, Mark Smith. But number 14, Kerry Tadero, number 6, Snooky Williams, and number 31, Mark Catone weren't so lucky. The oil sent them spinning on the front stretch. On the restart, Smith was in position to shoot around Creighton, but the number 38 took off, leaving Smith behind. Brad Creighton left everyone behind and won the first of 2 50-lap late model features. Or did he? After the post-race inspection, it was discovered that the number 38 car had an illegal carburetor, and Creighton was disqualified. This meant that everyone moved up a notch, giving the win to Mark Smith. He was followed by Barry Audi, Bobby Henry, Neil Brown, and Gary Wiltrout in the top 5 finishers in the first feature race of the late models. Creighton was moved to last place. In race 2, things got dicey in the beginning as number 2, Nick Rosa, went low to try to make it 3 wide. But he smartly slowed up. Number 77, Wade Chapeno, took off with the lead. Number 32, Rick Miller, would pass Chapeno for the lead in the following lap, but Somerset's Gary Wiltrout in the number 95 got by Miller for the lead shortly thereafter. By lap 8, number 94, Mark Smith, had caught up to the leader Wiltrout. He used the inside groove and passed him for the lead on the next lap. Smith would hold the lead for the remaining 41 laps, and he went on to win a caution-free second feature in the Wheeler Brothers AC Delco late models.
Yeah, everything went pretty good on them revert starts. It's a better race for the fans, and we don't mind it. as long as, keep everything in its lane and try to work around them.
In race 2, Smith was followed by Neil Brown, Barry Audi, Gary Wiltrout, and Bobby Henry in the top 5. His top 5 finishes in both features helped to keep Neil Brown on top of the point standings in the Wheeler Brothers AC Delco late model division. Smith worked his way to a tie for second with Barry Audi. Bobby Henry and Mark Catone make up the top 5. Brad Creighton, who chose not to compete in the second feature, is 6th in points. Snooky Williams, Kerry Tadero, Jamie Bolkovac, and Mel Wilt round out the top 10. Coming up at Jennerstown Speedway next weekend, Cover Insurance Agency presents Fan Appreciation Night, plus twin 25-lap Pro Truck features. Admission is just $5. Go to jennerstown.com for more information or call the Speedway. I'm Bubba Connor from 96.5 The Mountain. We'll see you next week on Chase to the Checkered.